Did you know that in North America alone, over 148 million Americans visit pumpkin patches each year? Halloween alone was predicted to bring over $12 billion to the American economy in 2023.
Americans will spend north of $800 million on pumpkins this year. That's up more than 30% since 2019.
But the pumpkin season doesn't end there. Autumn brings out a whopping demand for pumpkins in all shapes and sizes. Stay tuned, as we're about to take a deep dive into the big business of pumpkin farming. Let's start with one of the biggest players in the pumpkin craze, Halloween. Halloween supports American farmers. Pumpkin carving has become a hugely popular Halloween tradition, with 41% of Americans carving fresh pumpkins during the season, according to the US Department of Agriculture. In some states like California, pumpkin sales can exceed $31 million during this time of year alone. On average, a pumpkin sells for about $4 to $8, but most families end up spending at least $20 to $40 for a pumpkin picking outing. When you multiply this by thousands of guests visiting pumpkin farms throughout the fall season, it's not surprising that returns of $100,000 or more in October are within reach. This impressive profit is mainly because pumpkin farms produce around 40 tons per acre, depending on weather conditions and seed planting. For instance, a farmer with 15 acres of pumpkins, each producing 40 tons per acre, and selling pumpkins at an average rate of 12 cents per pound, can make a sweet $144,000. The size of the farm and its marketability play a crucial role in determining the final profit. But there's more to it than just planting and profiting. In recent years, there's been a growing demand for pumpkins for consumption as well. Let's time travel back to the 90s, when farmers were all about breeding pumpkins mainly for carving. Fast forward to today, and the pumpkin scene has done a complete 180. These days, they're growing all sorts of pumpkins in different shapes and flavors, thanks to the skyrocketing demand for tastier and more textured varieties. And why not? Right? Pumpkins aren't just Halloween stuff. They're loaded with potassium, iron, and vitamins A, C, and E, making them a top choice in the ever-growing health food scene. They've also been a long-standing favorite among vegetarians. Even though they're 90% water, pumpkins have a robust flesh that works as a meat substitute in stews and roasts. Plus, when Halloween season creeps in, pumpkins become the stars of all kinds of fall and spooky recipes, which only amps up the pumpkin craze. Oh, and Starbucks fans flock to their famous pumpkin spiced latte. But getting those pumpkins to your table isn't that simple. The journey starts with what we call variety selection, where farmers sift through hundreds of seeds available each year. As Halloween approaches, traditional jack-o'-lantern pumpkins are in high demand. But earlier in the season, customers are after decorative varieties like Cinderella or Marina de Chioggia, and many savvy growers go for the big leagues with hybrid seeds. These seeds might cost a bit more, 3 to 8 times more to be exact, but they can boost yield by a whopping 30 to 50%. Once the seeds are in the ground, pumpkins face various challenges, including insects, weeds, deer, mildew, and unpredictable weather. And if it gets too hot, pumpkins can be ready too early for the commercial market. If it gets too cold, they'll be seen green in October. They're also picky about rain too. Too little and they might not germinate, but too much and they can rot in the soil. Pumpkins also need more space than most crops, with vines stretching up to 30 feet to produce just a few fruits. To have a ripe harvest in time for October, you need to plant them in mid-May, and as long as the weather cooperates, they're fairly low maintenance until they're ready for harvest in September. The labor-intensive harvest is a significant concern for modern pumpkin farmers. The heavy fruits, spread across a wide area, require a team of seasonal workers prepared for hard work. Picking must be done by hand, and each pumpkin needs washing and inspection to prevent rot during storage. Moreover, the market for pumpkins is incredibly time-sensitive. Unlike other crops, pumpkin farmers are often in a race against the clock to sell their entire yield before October 29th, as the market suddenly closes at Halloween. Some UK shops, for example, only accept pumpkin harvest during a 10-day window. When it comes to selling pumpkins, there are a variety of options. You can choose between 2 main markets, selling directly to consumers or going the wholesale route. Each option has its own benefits and challenges, providing flexibility to pumpkin farmers looking to turn a profit. Now, if you're diving into the wholesale game, there are a few things you ought to keep in mind. Extra costs often rear their head, including expenses for grading, on-farm storage, and transport. The harvest process for wholesale, especially at scale, demands seasonal labor, which can sometimes be a tough nut to crack. To top it off, shipping pumpkins to the wholesale market means shipping them in bulk at the lowest costs, which can cut farmers' profit margins. In the world of wholesale marketing, many producers team up with shippers to market and ship their pumpkins at a predetermined price. But if you decide to go solo and ship your pumpkins to the wholesale markets yourself, be prepared for price fluctuations that could give you a run for your money. On the other hand, you could explore the option of selling wholesale at a produce auction. Just remember that prices can swing like a pendulum from week to week, and you'll be the one lugging your pumpkins to the auction. Another avenue to consider is selling to cooperatives. They can help smooth out price fluctuations by pooling the resources of multiple producers. Local retailers and farmers markets are yet another possible market, but they demand more hands-on sales and marketing efforts. You'll have to build relationships and maybe even tailor your pumpkin and gourd varieties to fit each store's unique needs. Now let's shift gears and talk about selling directly to consumers, a path often tread through roadside stands. Whether you set up your stand or partner with local growers, roadside stands can be a goldmine, fetching much higher rates than wholesale. But there's a whole world of logistics to juggle. Deciding where to plant your flag, spreading the word that you're open for business, and engaging in the nitty-gritty of daily face-to-face sales. However, one of the most intriguing opportunities lies in opening your very own pumpkin patch. According to some sources, a pumpkin patch can rake in up to $6,000 per acre in profit. In recent years, an increasing number of landowners have diversified into pick-your-own pumpkin operations to tap into the family Halloween market. This setup saves you on harvest costs, but requires you to welcome customers onto your farm and tolerate some waste. It can be a lucrative addition to your income, aligning well with traditional arable farming while also keeping infrastructure investments in check. The UK and USA are brimming with farms making the most of this trend. Some are in the business solely for supermarkets, but more farmers are turning the harvest into a public event. Pumpkin patches offer delightful family outings and have become a beloved tradition, with many families returning year after year. Given that the aim is to attract people to your farm for purchases, creating an enjoyable community and family-friendly environment is crucial for the business. These pumpkin farms have evolved into a realm of agritourism, where the community and tourists come to engage in a broader experience. Unlike your standard grocery stores, wholesale markets, co-ops, farmers markets, and roadside stands, these special farms offer a variety of festive activities like offering food varieties, full decorations, tractor rides, petting zoos, corn mazes, cook-offs, and crafty endeavors. Many of these farms have started charging a general admission fee just to get in. As a result, the Halloween season, running from late September to early November, has blossomed into a major moneymaker for pumpkin farmers venturing into agritourism. In recent years, agritourism revenue across the US has tripled between 2002 and 2017, tallying up to nearly $950 million in 2017, as per data from the US Department of Agriculture. In the end, whether you're a pumpkin enthusiast or just curious about the world of pumpkins, you now know that there's a whole lot more to these vibrant gourds than meets the eye. From wholesale markets to roadside stands and fun-filled pumpkin patches, the world of pumpkins offers something for everyone. So next time you visit a pumpkin farm or pick out the perfect pumpkin for your Halloween carving, remember, there's a rich tapestry of options and experiences waiting for you in the pumpkin world. If you've learned something new, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating brand breakdowns. Thanks for watching.